Hello, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Annie and this is going to be a vlog of my last week in the UK before I move back to America. I always tear up as soon as I start filming. I swear I don't actually cry this much, like behind the scenes. I just filmed the intro and thumbnail for my summer ween vlog. Yes, it is August 19th, but better late than never. That's why I look like this. Also, let's take a second for the fit. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I guess the only thing that matters really is my top. Okay, I went on holiday with my family and I got this top. Guys, this was €3 in Provence, and look how cute. Like, it's got little detailing. I love it. It was €3. This is from Goodwill. I guess now this is a fit check. I think $3 a couple years ago, but now it's ripping. I thrifted this in Edinburgh on the vacation. Actually, maybe I'll give you a vacation haul. This is my weekly vlog. I can do whatever I want. I haven't vlogged in ages. Maybe I should actually sit down and do a proper intro. I'll do one in a sec. These are my rings. I got my nails done last week because it was my birthday and they look great. I thrifted these in Edinburgh. And my rings, honestly, my grandma made this one and this one. I was gifted. Who do I think I am? Some friends gave me this for my birthday last year. I found this at a charity shop, and this my mom gave to me, so I'm not much help where rings are concerned. Sorry, but that is my fit check. I don't know why I interrupted the whole intro of the vlog to do that, but I do feel kind of hot, which is good because especially lately my skin's been breaking out. I actually just got this. It took ages to come, but it's my first like Korean skincare product that I've gotten. Wow, look at me, beauty vlogger. This is the TM Pore Minimizing 21 Cream, and it's supposed to help with rough skin texture and oiliness and like breakouts in 21 days. I just got it this morning. I'll let you know. I took progress photos, so we'll see. Sorry, the intro to this vlog was actually non-existent. Yes, this is... Can you shut up? It's actually really rude to do that while I'm filming. Why do I want to... I hope that sound isn't too bad for you. I apologize if it is. It doesn't seem like it's gonna stop, so I'll try to keep this short. I don't know why this intro is so scattered. I think I'm feeling a little bit crazy because I do live by myself and I haven't seen anyone since work on Friday, and today's Monday, which is not too bad. Like, that's not too bad, but I didn't leave the house at all yesterday. I'm probably not gonna leave much today. Did I do anything yesterday? I get a little bit crazy when I don't see anyone for a couple days. Really chatty, obviously. Guys.
Oh. Okay.
Let me get my thoughts together. Hi, I think this is probably gonna be a nightmare to edit. I'm so scattered, but I wanted to give you guys a life update and have a little, not a rant, but like, let me just talk to you because we're besties. I'm gonna give you guys a life update. I'll try to make it quick. And we were in the south of France. Like, you just can't expect it to look as south of France-y as other places in the south of France, if that makes sense.
Okay.
We flew to Edinburgh. Fringe was happening, but I didn't see any shows, which actually made me really sad. There was a show called Swamp-lesque, like Shrek, but burlesque, and no one wanted to see it with me, and I was like, guys, sorry, you don't want to see Swamp-lesque? I'm 22 now. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. I have really waxy ears, and the wax built up so much, and usually I use drops and it comes out, but this one, no. And I had to wait till I got back to like book a doctor's appointment. So I'm actually in this vlog, I'm gonna get my ear unclogged. I would think I was fine, and then someone would be like, "You all right?" And I was like, "Actually, no, not really. I'm gonna go sit down." Sometimes getting texts makes me anxious because you never know when they're gonna come. Anyway, I don't know if that's normal. Today it's about 4 p.m. I woke up late, got a late start, but I mean, I do that kind of every day. My health is not good today. I'm so tired, but there's things to do. Namely, laundry. I have to do my whites today. I did my colors yesterday. Some of them are soaking in my sink right now because I got a coffee stain on one of my white shirts on holiday. So I have to do that, go to the laundrette, which is actually exhausting. One reason why I'm glad to move home is that there's laundry in the house. I also want to go through books and see if there's anything to unhaul, because I have to figure out how to get all my stuff back to America. I actually want to make a lot of progress with packing and stuff today. I think I might try to do like a mock pack and maybe even just live out of my suitcase for the next week, just because I really want to make sure everything fits, and if I have to ship anything, I have to see about that. It's gonna be expensive. So yeah, I have to go through all my books today. I would like to do a final cut of my Summerween vlog and like add the clips I just did and do the thumbnail and upload it, but it might be tomorrow depending on how I'm feeling, because I feel like poop today. I don't feel very good despite looking super hot. Life is hard. Books. I am also going to be talking about what I'm reading. I'm actually reading a book I own for once, and that is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Mr. Oscar Wilde. I got this maybe a year and a half ago because I was supposed to read it for uni, but it was right at the end of the term, and like I didn't have time to read it because I had to write my essay. And I've always wanted to read it because I've read a couple sections of it in the seminar, and I'm like, wow, that's the most beautiful writing I've ever read. I am about halfway through, so I like fold down the bottom pages of anything where I think there's a good quote, and then sometimes I'll have to do the top page if like you turn the page and there's another good quote on the other side. And like look at Also, I'm using my Summerween bookmark. The Sharpie's fading, so I want to refresh. Maybe I'll switch. I'm switching bookmarks. This is so unrelated, but this is my favorite bookstore ever. Mr. B's Emporium of Reading Delights in Bath. And they gave me a ton of bookmarks last time I was there. I'm gonna use that. I think I want this one. Maybe I'll hang it on my wall when I get back. I'll rewrite it and then I'll hang it on my wall as a commemorative Summerween thing. Anyway, I'm so all over the place. I apologize, guys. This is so chaotic. If you don't know what this is about, it's about this guy named Dorian Gray and this other guy, Basil. Or maybe Basil? We'll say Basil. Paints a portrait of him, and everyone's like, oh my god, like this guy is the most beautiful, majestic guy we've ever seen, and he's so pure and young. I think he's like 19 or 20. Dorian meets this other guy, Lord Henry, that is like friends of the painter. He basically sets out to try to like corrupt Dorian based on his own views of the world and how people should live. He thinks people should live just for themselves and indulge in a bunch of pleasure and all this stuff. It's very interesting, and to a certain extent I agree, but Henry takes it too far and Dorian becomes really influenced by him. He's very impressionable. Now, as Dorian becomes more and more corrupt, the portrait of him changes, but he stays as like youthful and young looking as ever, which is actually something he wished for when he saw the portrait the first time. Honestly, the writing is just so beautiful. I wish that I had like 2 weeks to discuss this in a seminar. I'm already missing uni. It's really sad. Really, really good book. My only complaint is the misogyny. I need to figure out if it was actually Wilde that didn't like women and believed all this stuff, or if he's just writing Lord Henry to be a misogynist, because some of these are a bit rude. So anyway, I'm reading this physically whenever I can. Obviously, I'm reading Yona of the Dawn. I finished volume 32 last night at 4 a.m. It's fine. So I'm almost actually done with that because there's 44 volumes. So I'm reading that whenever I can, reading this whenever I can. And then on audio, I am reading The Boys in the Valley by Philip Fracassi, I think is his name. It's a horror book. I did not really know what it was about going in. I think it was Jordaline who recommended it. Anyway, it's been on my Goodreads list for a while. It's already pretty spooky and scary. I think I'm 35% in. It's about these boys. They live in a religious orphanage home for boys in the middle of this deserted valley in, I believe, the very early 1900s. We follow like various boys, but there's this incident that happens one night towards the beginning of the book where, again, there's no one around for miles. Policemen come knocking on the door and the priests go and see them. The boys are all like in bed, supposed to be sleeping, but they kind of hear what's going on. And it turns out that there's this guy that they bring and they're like, please save his life. But he committed a crime. Like, he's not a good guy. We just need you to save his life because he's the sheriff's brother. And the sheriff is there and he's like, please save my brother. What he did though was really bad. Like really bad. The priests like take him inside and they're trying to save his life because it's the sheriff's brother and the sheriff isn't right there. He eventually dies and an evil spirit is released when he dies into the boys' room, and the boys start going a little bit crazy and a little bit scary and they start killing each other. Very spooky vibes, pretty good audiobook. So we'll see. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. It's creepy, it's scary. Yeah, we'll see. Right now, I'm gonna go put my whites in the laundry at the laundrette, and then I'm gonna, you know what? We're gonna go through my books and we're gonna see what I can unhaul.
A few moments later.
Hi, angle change because I just couldn't get a better one. I know this background is not the cutest. Also, look how sad that is. Look how sad. This I'm going to keep. I just bought it. This I'm giving away. My dad gave this book to me when he found out I was starting YouTube. He had already read it. I've read parts of it, and not that I don't need YouTube secrets because I'm sure I could like benefit, but I don't think I ever really look at this book. So donate. Okay, see, that's easy. Okay, now we have all the Mona Awad books. I have been saying forever that I'm gonna make a video where I read all 4 of these. I've already read Bunny, and I've been saying it's one of my favorite novels for the past 2 years maybe, so I need to reread it and get to these. I am keeping these. I bought them all with my own money and I do intend on reading them. It just, honestly, for the longest time I hadn't been in a mood to read literary fiction because I was in uni, and now I'm getting that urge again, hence why I'm reading a classic. Keeping them. Legendborn and Bloodmarked I am keeping. Look at that. That's the only book I've ever tabbed. I'm keeping it. I love this series. I do, and I'm going to keep it. How am I gonna get these all over? And the second one I also loved. I do kind of want to reread these. I will before the next book comes out. There's so much to read in the meantime, but look at these. Keeping them. I'm keeping them. Oh, I really don't know how this is gonna go. This I've had for ages without reading. However, I really want to read it, and I do like this version of the cover. I do. I thrifted this. It was not expensive. I don't know what to do. You know what? I'm gonna make a pile for like try a chapter. I'm gonna start a pile for that to weed some stuff out. And you know what? If I do read a first chapter and I like it, it'll make me more intrigued to read these books I haven't read that have been sitting on my shelf for a long time. Also, this is Russian literature. It's a bit crazy, and that's what I know. Open Water. This book I've had for a while. It is small, so it's easy to bring. I haven't ever gotten the urge to reread it, but like I've said, I've been in a bit of a literary fiction slump, and I might as well keep it. I know it's good. It's just been so long since I've read it, and I don't really think about it. So it is one of those that I guess if I had to, I could get rid of it. I guess I'll make a pile for that. Oh, this sucks. This really sucks. My Holly Jackson books, 5 Survive, and the reappearance of Rachel Price, I am keeping. Also, look how much my nails match these. I have to keep these. I love Holly Jackson. I am actually asking, I think my mom's getting them for me because I asked for them for my birthday, but these really sexy hardback special editions of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series that Waterstones did. Baby girl, you are so pretty, pretty, pretty. I think I'm getting those when I go back to the US. I will have then all of her books on hardback. I'm keeping these. They're a must for my collection. Keeping them. Also, I watched the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder show. I did a little review on my Instagram. I thought it kept the essence of the book. I did think that some changes were unnecessary and didn't really add anything to the story. If anything, maybe took away from some defining characteristics of, for instance, Pip. I thought it was really well acted. I didn't have any major issues with it. And I like that they didn't make it like dumbed down and more YA, because one thing about those books is that they're advertised as YA. They're a bit dark for YA, and I like that they didn't shy away from that. So there's my little review. I'm keeping these. Rest of the Emerald Sea. This is a funny one. I think I will keep this one, but I'm gonna put it in the I could get rid of it if I had to pile. I think this is a book I could love. I never finished it. I actually did start tabbing it. So I guess there is another book I tabbed. I never finished the book because I was in a slump. It wasn't clicking for me right then. I think it is a book I could go back and read and really love. The library by my house back home in California is massive, and I am sure it has this because my sister read it from there. If I need to get rid of this one, I can, and I can read it from the library. And then if I really love it, then I can buy a new edition. This one does have some annotations in it though. What does this even say? I just opened one randomly that said, I bet Julia Fox can. Get me back there. What is this even saying? Oh, it says, I would have been impressed if I hadn't been distracted by wondering whether anyone has made clothing out of napkins yet. And I wrote, I bet Julia Fox has, because I saw some TikTok where she made a bunch of clothes out of random stuff. I don't know, I kind of want to keep it. Like, look at that. I'll put this one in the maybe pile. If I really don't have space, I'll get rid of it. Middlemarch. I have a bunch of books. Not a bunch, but a few books that I really love and that have annotations in them, such as Middlemarch, which I love. And I read it for uni. I wrote a paper on it. I read it all the way through, this massive book, and really liked it. I have some pages folded down. I have annotations. I did use it to write an essay, so I have like notes in there. And it's one of those things where these books like this that are classics that I could get anywhere, but they have my annotations from uni in them, I do want to keep. I do. Because what if I want to read it again? What if I want to lend it to a stranger? What if I want to look back at the memories? But because this is a bit hefty, and because you can find a copy of Middlemarch anywhere, I will put it in the maybe, but I really want to keep it. I like this copy. It's worn, it's cute, it's secondhand, and I wrote in it, maybe. Going to maybe pile. Persuasion is another book like that, but this one I believe actually I could probably just keep. It's so small. I have notes on that as well. Fun fact, this is actually the only Jane Austen book I've ever read, and I want to read more. And this copy is so good and floppy. I think I want to keep this for the memories. If I had to get rid of it, maybe I would. But for now, I'm putting it in the keep pile because it's short, it's sweet, and I love it. Piranesi, I have to keep this. I haven't read it. I know that I'm gonna love it. I actually remember when I got it, I read about 40 pages just at Blackwell's, because I got this in Oxford when I went with my mom. That's the other thing, is this one's kind of like a souvenir for me. I like getting books while I'm on holiday or something, because then I can remember my holiday when I read it. I'm keeping this, but I really need to get to it very soon. Boy Parts, not even a question, I'm keeping this. I wrote my dissertation on it. It has all of my annotations, all my underlines, like everything. I have to keep this, and I'm going to. The keep pile is already looking quite big. This whole series I am keeping. How am I gonna get these over there? I don't know. I've read the first two, and I plan on reading the third one soon. But I love this series. I like my UK editions. Oh, actually, I might look up the US editions just to see. I think I like those better. And if that's the case, did I annotate these though? Did I? I have stuff folded over. I don't really know if I did. If that's the case, I might get the US ones, but I like how these feel. I don't know, these ones are up for debate. If I had to get rid of them, I suppose I could, but they are books I want to own, and I don't really feel like going out to buy a bunch more books as soon as I get back. I'm putting them in the keep pile for now. I will look up the US editions though. Well, I like that they all fit together. This pisses me off. Who is she? Why is her hair that way? I mean, I know who she is, but like, look at her hair and tell me that's not disgusting. Like, who approved that? So I might actually get rid of these for the US editions. I just need to look at those covers. Oh, The Fault in Our Stars. I bought this recently because I knew it was a book I wanted to have on my shelves as an adult, and I'm keeping it, babe. I am keeping it. To be fair, it was only £2. So if I do have to get rid of it, I can. And maybe I do have my old copy back home. I'll put this one in maybe, actually. It is a book I want to own because I was obsessed with it when I was a kid. I actually read this at least 6 times in a row. Just as soon as I would finish, would go back to the start when I first read it. And I must have read it over 15 times. I want to reread it for a video. But if I had to give this one up, I would, simply because I did get it recently, but it was only £2, as this has informed me. But I do really want it. Carrie. This one I'm actually going to give away. And I've been thinking about it, and I'm going to give it up. I did like this when I read it. It's the first Stephen King I've read. The first one he's written. I want to read more Stephen King. I just didn't love it to the point where I feel like I need to own it. And considering I need to get rid of so many things, this one's going. Red Rising. I also just got this at Mr. B's. We actually might own a copy at home. I made these purchases before I knew I was moving back. I read this when I was a teenager. I really want to reread it. This one I'm going to ask my family if we have, but if so, that's such a shame and kind of a waste of money. Actually, definitely a waste of money. I paid, what, like £10 for this. It's a nice new copy. I just got it. Putting this one in, if I have to, I'll get rid of it. If I have to, but I want to keep it. I really want to keep it. I'm gonna find a way to make it. Fuck it, I'm keeping it. If I have to go through the ones I'm keeping again, I will, and I probably will have to do that. Assembly by Natasha Brown. Love this book. It's tiny. I'm keeping it. I wrote an essay on this. Like, I do really love this. I've read it 2 or 3 times, and it is something I could see myself rereading again in the future. Keeping it. This one I feel like I'm actually probably gonna give up. I have owned this for ages. My copy is waterlogged. It's secondhand. It's not a good copy. Donna Tartt wrote The Secret History, which I think objectively is a great book. Personally, I read it 3 times, but not because I loved it so much, because I was trying to figure out why everyone else loved it so much. And I think technically amazing. Personally, I didn't really resonate with it. There's this certain feeling you get for books that are really good, and I didn't have that emotional response. I might read a chapter of this just to convince myself, to see whether or not I do want to read this in the future, but I will not be bringing this back. Also, look, it's just massive. That book is actually the bane of my existence. I think it might have been on my shelf, one of the longest out of all the books here. This one I'm gonna try a chapter of. The Fraud by Zadie Smith. I have this nice copy. I went to her book signing event and her talk for this, which is a nice memory. I do have it signed. I just have never read a Zadie Smith book, and I did actually start reading White Teeth for uni, but I never finished it because I couldn't get into it. So this one I'm gonna read the first chapter or 2 and see what to do with it. I just don't know if I'm gonna like it. I'll have to be honest, I really don't know. The Manning Tree Witches by A.K. Blakemore. I have read this. I liked it. I did. I don't think I like it enough to keep it, but it was good, and I'm excited. She's got this new book out that came out earlier this year, or maybe last year, called The Glutton, which looks good, so I do want to read that. I thought this was really cool. I did like it. I thought the writing was great. I just don't feel like I need to keep it, and that's okay. So far, I have, how many books that I'm giving away? 4 so far, and that's a good start. That's good. Next, Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. I am also going to read a chapter or 2 of this. I like this copy. I hate that. I have been wanting to read this. This is her only book that I haven't read. I know she's coming out with a new one soon though. Is it? Let's see. We had Normal People, which I like the show better. Sorry. Not People We Meet on Vacation. That is Emily Henry. Conversations with Friends. There's only been 3 books. Well, I loved Conversation with Friends. Couldn't get past the first 5 seconds of the TV show. So far, she's been hit or miss for me. I'm gonna try to start reading at least a chapter or a couple of this. And if I like it, I will keep it. I love how floppy this book is. I do like the end papers. This one we'll see, but again, I wouldn't have trouble finding a copy of this. It is just that either I or my mom spent full price on this, and I want to see if it's worth it, but I have had it for a little while. A Dowry of Blood, I'm keeping this. Oh, it goes so good with my fit today. Anyway, I need to read this ASAP. I am convinced I'm gonna love it. It's about Dracula's wives, specifically, Constanta. I'm so excited to read it. I also got this. Where did I get this? I either got this at Mr. B's or maybe just at Waterstones. Got this relatively recently though, and I need to read it. Look how gorgeous it is. Gorgeous, stunning, amazing. Going to read it and keeping it. Oh. I'm getting rid of this, I think. So, wow. This is the last book in the Poppy War trilogy. I actually owned all 3 of them. I feel like the other 2 might be back in the States, but I'm donating them. I have like 150 pages left. This is the last book in the trilogy. And I just can't. I started this book, I got up to there, could not get into it. I even started a whole fantasy reading vlog with it that I have taken a hiatus from for at least a month and a half because I can't finish this. I don't care about this series. I understand why people like it. I don't think R of Kong is for me. I really wanted her to be. I just don't think she is. But it kind of hurts to have 150 pages left in a series, a trilogy where all the books are this long and not finish it. So I might force myself to try to finish it like actually this week and then donate it because I get this out of my sight. Like, oh, get it out of my sight. I don't know. I'm in 2 minds because on one hand, life is too short to be reading books that I don't like. On the other hand, it's 150 pages. And then I could have a whole series finished. We'll see. I guess you'll find out. If I'm gonna read it, it's gonna be in this vlog. The Collector. This one I haven't read. I really want to read. However, it's a classic. I know based on this cover that I got this from the £3 bookshop. Actually, now it's £5 because inflation. I think I might have got this when it was £4. Either way, really cheap. On the back of this, it says it's worth £9. I got this for cheap. I don't love this cover. This one I'm gonna put as a maybe just because I feel like there's gotta be a better cover out there for this. And I do wanna read it, but I'd like to have a cover that I like looking at, especially if it's a classic. Like, it shouldn't be too hard to find one. This is about a guy that collects butterflies and then one day he decides to collect a girl. So I do really want to read this. It's going in maybe. Next up, another Zadie Smith, NW. Okay, it was £2.49. I did thrift this. I am going to read a chapter or 2 for this one. I don't even know what it's about. It's about people living in London. Cranford, I'm keeping this. Once again, it's small. It's the Wordsworth Classics. What is it? Oh, so was Persuasion. I just like the look of these. They're so cute. They're very tiny. I loved Cranford when I read it. This is very much like a slice of life, no plot, just vibes, quirky little story. It kind of gives Gilmore Girls. Highly, highly recommend. I don't really hear people talking about this classic. I only know a bit because I read it for uni, but I'm keeping it. And look how cute and tiny these are. Once again, I did write an essay on this, so I do have like my notes in it and stuff. I want to keep it. To the Lighthouse. Once again, we are struck with these awful vintage classics covers. What is that? But that also tells me that I got this from the £3 bookstore, I think when it was actually £3. I actually got really far into this. Oh, I say really far. I was halfway. I was reading this in first year of uni. And I always told myself, I'm gonna continue it. Have I? No. I'm gonna read the first chapter, but simply, migraine. Okay, I'm gonna cut for a little bit while I take some meds and drink something with caffeine to get rid of my migraine. Okay, I'm back. I've gathered all the rest of the books. Let's go. Another book I got at Mr. B's. It must have been a month ago or a couple weeks ago. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I've been wanting to start this series for so long. Not giving this one up. It's a really long fantasy series that has different parts. If you know like the Percy Jackson series, and then there's like the Hero of Olympus series, it's one of those where it's like different series set in the same world, but they're kind of supposed to be read in order from what I can tell. And it's like high fantasy. I want to read this really soon. I've been wanting it for ages. I got it recently. Keeping it. And also I really like these covers. It's giving like Arthur vibes. Next up, this one is rough. It's gonna be hard to take. I think I need to do a first chapter test. And that is The Prairie of the Orange Tree. I love this cover. I'm obsessed with it. I also got this book at Waterstones maybe in December, so not too long ago. And I remember that I did actually read the first chapter when I was there and I was enthralled. But I think I need to read it again. And I think if I'm gonna bring this back, the plan has to be that I'm gonna be reading it on the plane. No matter what happens, I'm gonna be bringing a big book in my backpack to read on the plane, and this is definitely a contender for that because it's massive. How long is this? I mean, it's a standalone, technically, not as a prequel, but technically a standalone fantasy, so I guess you get what you pay for. 804 pages. Quite a bit, but look at that. Look at the cover. I do want to keep it. It's just whether or not I'm able to take it. I'm gonna try to read a bit of it and see how I'm feeling. Next up, a gift from my brother. This is massively heavy, but it's coming home with me. And I actually might read it quite soon because I've been in my manga era, and that's No Longer Human by, well, it's actually not by Junji Ito. It's by Osamu Dazai. Junji Ito did the art, and it's originally a novel, so he transformed it into a manga. Look at these. I've never read Junji Ito, but his art style is fabulous. Also, apparently this book is spooky, scary, and the author committed suicide shortly after writing it, and a lot of people say that he committed suicide because he wrote this book. Look at the copy he got me. Like, this is crazy. Look at the cover, first of all. Sorry, I have to keep this. And look at the back. I have to keep it. That's all there is. Also, look at the back of the dust jacket is also nice. It's coming with me. I don't care that it's heavy and big. It's coming. And hopefully I get to reading it soon. I can't be starting a manga till I'm done with Yona of the Dawn. Like, I really have to lock in on that. Oh, another book that's going to be very hard to take back, but I'm going to do it because I'm determined. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that this is like probably the prettiest book I own. Little Women and Other Novels. So this is the whole series of Little Women. It's 3 books: Little Women, Little Men, and Joe's Boys. I grew up loving Little Women. I reread it over and over again. Same with Green Gables. I loved reading a good little girly classic as a kid. This and Green Gables, Anne of Green Gables, I just reread like crazy. But for some reason, for this one, I only ever read the first book. And for Anne of Green Gables, I think I only ever read the first 3 books or something. I really want to get to all of them. And I want to be on my Little Woman grind and reading all of these. Like, look at that. My parents got me this just like fabulous copy for Christmas. I'm going to bring it back even if I have to pay for separate shipping. It is very heavy. The last 3 we've looked at have all been heavy, big books. So we'll see what's happening. I'm thinking my situation in terms of luggage is a small-ish suitcase, a big suitcase, a duffel bag, and my backpack. Hopefully I can fit everything in there. It's just weird to like be moving your whole life across an ocean after you built up like 3 years worth of stuff. I didn't know I was gonna be leaving when I bought 5 books at Mr. B's a month ago. I also usually don't even buy that many books when I go to the bookstore. I was just really treating myself. And now I'm in a bit of a pickle. I'm not getting rid of this one. The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. Actually, I will. You know what I will do is I will read a couple pages or the first chapter or whatever of this, because if you have been watching this channel, I've had it for a long time. I've been wanting to read it for a long time. I think this is also potentially one of the most beautiful books I own, and I think it would be perfect to read in the summertime. And in LA, September is like maybe the hottest month of the year, so it's still gonna be summer when I go back. I say as it's raining and gray in beautiful England. I wish I could stay here. I'm gonna read a couple chapters just for fun because I'm doing that now. Another big one. Yay. Oh, a smaller one. Another one that I have to take though. Mayfly, obviously. I'm not getting rid of this. It was the other book I wrote my dissertation on. I have annotations. I have massive sections underlined. I'm keeping it, no brainer. Another book that I got because I knew I wanted it on my shelves. I got this online secondhand, and I think it would be a shame to not be able to bring it, considering that I love it so much, but I can sacrifice it if I have to. I just don't really want to, and that is Sorcery of Thorns. I love this book. The only thing would be that little cover situation. I love this book. It's like cozy fantasy about this girl that lives in a library, and there are these grimoires that like come to life. It's so good. You should read it if you haven't. Since I got this copy secondhand for pretty cheap, I'm sure I could do that again. So I guess that would be the reason why it's a maybe, but I do like this copy. It's in good shape. It is floppy. It would be a shame. This one is a maybe, but I don't want to leave it. Another book I got for Christmas is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I'm keeping this one. I really want to read it. I actually have... Okay, we're back once again because I ran out of storage, so I had to clear it up. Sorry, I'm tired, and you can tell my makeup is wearing off. I'm gonna do skincare soon, but I wanted to finish this. So I went to the laundrette, picked up my laundry. I made dinner. I made this really good Thai salad I've been having lately. It's like vermicelli, peanut sauce, veg, avocado, and tempeh. It was really good. And I finished the Yona of the Dawn anime finally. It took me so long. I don't really know if anime is for me, but I do love Yona of the Dawn so much that I did really like the story. Oh my lord. You know what? We're gonna let the face be shiny. It's okay. It's okay. Also, I hate this shadow thing. What if I... Oh. Can't decide what to do about an angle. You know what? I'm not mad about this. But kind of I am. Okay, I decided to just put you guys on my desk like I normally do. It's a bit cluttered, but oh well. I just want to get this done with because it's like 9:15. I think that I was talking about Daphne du Maurier. I'm keeping both of these books. I got Rebecca for Christmas. Also, this just feels beautiful and lovely. It's been something I've been wanting to read for a long time. I actually asked for Frenchman's Creek for Christmas because Murphy Napier recommended it, and it has pirates in it, so of course I wanted it. I need to get this sticker off, but my dad couldn't find it in Barnes & Noble, so got me this instead. And then I found this at a charity shop like a month ago, so I'm keeping it. I'm keeping them both, and we're gonna make it happen. Next we have two that I think I'm actually gonna get rid of. One is A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. I have attempted to read this before and I didn't like love it. It's just kind of dense. I think it's like a bit of a memoir. I don't know. It's about him being in Paris, and I'm always like, oh, I'll read it when I go back to Paris. And I will. I'll find a copy when I go to Paris. But who knows when that's gonna be, and as of right now, I don't really have space for it. I'm sure it's something I could love, but do I need to own it? I guess not. If it was up to me, I would still own all these books, but c'est la vie, this one is going away. And then this one, I mentioned actually most of these books in my recent physical TBR video. The True Memoirs of Little Kay. This book is so cute. I got it at a little free library. It's really heavy. This does not have all the pizzazz I would want it to have, but the cover is like, the inside bit is actually quite cute. When was this published? Oh, 2010. Oh, this is the first edition. Well, that makes me want it more. This one I might have to read a chapter of. It's about the mistress of the Tsar in Russia, and she's a ballerina, like a prima ballerina. I don't know. I think I'm gonna read the first chapter, but this one is probably getting axed just because it's a bit heavy and I never really think to pick it up. I don't think I've ever read even the first couple sentences, so I'm gonna do that, but it's probably going bye-bye. The next stack is actually just a bunch of series. So first we have the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I am keeping these. I have only read the first one as of right now, but I loved it so much and I really want to reread it and then get into these two. I read a copy from the library. I went and bought it. And then I bought these two sometime earlier this year. This is the second one, and the third one, it just has to be done. I'm keeping them. The only annoying thing is that this one is shorter. To be fair, I bought these two together at a separate time. If I had to, I would give up this one and then find a copy that matches these two. Now I have my Veronica Speedball collection. I actually only have 3 of them right now. I just read the 4th one on holiday and I gave it to my family to take back home with them. But here I have the first one, the 3rd one, and the 5th one. I'm gonna try to keep the end of this quite fast because I just got caught up again because I am running out of storage. But anyway, this is an edition that they only have, I think, the first 3 in this kind of cover. The rest are like this. I have lots of feelings. I kind of want to get them all in this cover but hardback, but this one doesn't come in hardback in that cover. Anyway, unfortunately, I'm going to give this one up. I do have some like pages folded down, but I don't have any annotations. So this one is getting donated just so I can match the other ones. These 2 are coming with me. We're almost done. So next up I have a series of 5 books. These are some of my favorite books growing up. Unfortunately, look, we have this issue again here. However, I'm not too bothered by it because I did get all of these secondhand online. I believe we also own these at my family house. However, I wanted to own them myself and have my own copies, so I'm a bit conflicted. This one has an annoyingly shiny cover. Obviously, this one's short. These 3 have no issues, so if I had to part with them, it would be the last 2, just so that the series can match. And I'm sure I can find them secondhand online somewhere. I hate to say it, but I will be getting rid of my Mistborn copies after looking at the US ones. My only question is, why are books in the US so expensive? I forgot how bad it was. $22 for a paperback is crazy. Like, we spend, what, like 9 or 10 pounds on paperbacks in the UK. That's like $13 or $14. What makes, why? I'm gonna do it anyway. The price is making me sad, but the covers are so much nicer. I guess the jury's still out. That's annoying. That's annoying.
The next day.
Hi, I know this lighting is really not it because the sun is shining through there, but I only have a couple minutes and I wanted to update you guys. It is the next day. It's almost 2 and I'm meeting my friend for coffee, which will be really nice. It's gonna be my last time seeing her before I leave because as of today, I'm leaving in a week, which is just a lot to think about. So I woke up about noon. Last night, what did I do? I did edit for a little bit, not too long though. And whether or not I finish that video today is all up to like how long this coffee takes me. But I'm not gonna rush it. It'll probably be posted tomorrow because tomorrow I don't have anything until tomorrow night. I also started No Longer Human, that manga adaptation, and I didn't know until I added it like onto Goodreads and stuff that it's this book. Here, I'll put the cover there, but I've seen it around a lot and I think if I like this I could be into reading that because apparently it's one of the highest best-selling novels ever in Japan. It came out in the 40s, I believe. I think that it was actually the author's suicide note as opposed to, like, that's how people interpret it, as opposed to the reason he killed himself, because he had had some attempts before that, I believe. Really sad, but I'm interested in it. I just read the first chapter, like the first 50 pages or so, and it's creepy. It's definitely really creepy. I don't know if the actual novel is horror. I think it's more like philosophy or like speculative type of thing, but with the drawings it does make it really creepy, so that was kind of fun. I also watched all of Katie Coulson's summer Ween vlogs, like I think at least 2 through 7, because she was daily vlogging yesterday while I was folding laundry and cooking and stuff like that, so that shows you how behind I am at even watching YouTube. I'm excited to go get coffee with my friend. I am working from 7 to close tonight, so like 7 to midnight. It's the quiz night at the pub, which should be fun. I'm always really bad at pub quizzes, but I think I've only worked the quiz once and I was trying to solve it. And they even had a whole American section and I could not tell you most of the answers. But it's kind of fun working the quiz because I can try to solve it. That's all. I just wanted to do a quick update so that the first time you guys are seeing me isn't at like 4 p.m. See you later. All right, I'm back from coffee with my friend. I feel like this lighting is always the best, but the background is not cute. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I'm back. It was nice. It was really weird though to like say goodbye and know I'm not gonna see her for at least a few years, because basically I have to move back because I can't pay for my visa, obviously. But the reason I can't just like find a job in the UK and then come back is that I can't get the graduate visa that I wanted to get, and I can't just get a worker's visa and come back because places don't really sponsor entry-level employees to come to the UK to work, which is fair enough. So I'm gonna have to like work my way up as an employee somewhere and then hopefully try to come back later. But yeah, it was really weird saying goodbye just now, and like I'm not gonna see her, but we'll keep in touch. It was really, really good to see her again for our last time before I left. I was really glad that she could like find the time to see me, so I'm happy about that. I think it's like 3:30 right now. I work at 7. Honestly, I'm just gonna try to pack. I might also try to edit. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on sprints and maybe like do some dishes and then try to pack for a bit and then edit for the next bit, and like just do that until I have to go to work. I'll show you what I'm working with in terms of books in a second. I might also take some time and like read the first chapter of some of those books I've been meaning to, and I'll let you know what I think about those. I'll show you what I'm working with in terms of the books I'm gonna bring. I have them all on this table and it is looking like a lot. But basically today what I want to do is tackle everything on my walls and get those off, and all the little drawers. I have a bunch of drawers like over here that are just kind of filled with like random stuff or paperwork and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go through those and try to empty them out. My goal is to be completely packed actually by tomorrow, even though I have a week, just to see how things are fitting and if I need to donate some things or get extra luggage or ship things or something like that. So yeah, I want to be really prepared before I go, so I'm not having to figure this stuff out last minute. But yeah, just gonna like clean and do some stuff for a bit, and I'll update you guys later. Bye for now. So currently these are all the books I'm trying to take home. I haven't even counted how many, but these also includes the ones like the Mistborn series that I'm okay with potentially getting rid of and buying new copies. These are the ones I'm hoping can fit, plus these right here. I was in a mood last night to read physically something that's not a classic, so that's when I started No Longer Human, and then I also was thinking of starting Piranesi. Technically adding those, it's all these. I'm gonna count all the books. Give me a sec. So 45 books. So I probably will have to cut down a bit, but we'll see, we'll see. Sorry I didn't update you sooner. I always think I have more time before work than I actually do. Did I edit yesterday? No, I did not. I did kind of mostly figure out one of my drawers, the one on the bottom shelf of this thing, which is actually the one that was most cluttered, so that's good. It was just like throwing away a lot of paperwork and stuff I don't need anymore. It is about 3:45 today. I slept in. Actually, let me tell you about my night. So I had work and that was really good. I had a really good shift. And then I got home at like midnight because I got out my shift a little bit early. I forget the term for what this is called. I think it's like revenge insomnia or something. I was exhausted when I got back from work, but I stayed up until 3:30. Just playing little games on my phone. I did finish The Boys in the Valley on audiobook. I read about half of it after I got home from work, and it was okay. I think I'll give it a 3 stars. I think it's definitely scary. There's lots of like religious stuff in it, and I guess that's probably why my rating's a bit lower, just because I'm an atheist and I just don't really love hearing about religion in books I read. If I read the synopsis, I would have known it was gonna be like that. I just like didn't really care also about the characters. Like their stories were objectively sad and like interesting, but there was nothing about the characters that made me really like root for one in particular. I don't know, I felt like they didn't have very many like defining characteristics. 3 stars. I'm glad I finished it. I think I'm gonna start the 7-Year Slip for my next audiobook. I think it's about this girl that lives in this apartment and then there's this guy, like a ghost. I don't know. I'm gonna start it and I'll tell you how it is. My haul just came through on Libby for it. I'm actually happy because I feel like I do need a bit of a like light, funny little read. I hope I like it though, because I'm quite hard to please when it comes to romance. Anyway, yeah, massively slept in this morning. Woke up at like 12-ish and then just like faffed around on my phone, like rotted in bed for a while, made a nice breakfast, and then I just finished getting dressed and it took me so long to put on an outfit. So tonight I'm really excited. I'm going to a cinema to watch my favorite K-pop group in concert. I don't know if it's more of like a documentary concert film or like just you're watching their concert. I assume it's the latter, but I'm excited no matter what. It's 17. I'm watching their Follow Again tour in cinemas and I am so excited. The bus to get there is an hour though, because there were only 2 cinemas showing it near me and I went to like the one that was cheaper. But yeah, that's tonight at 7 and obviously it's like 3:45 right now and I just don't have it in me to do a bit more packing right now. I'll probably try to do some when I get home from the cinema tonight, but I think for now I'm gonna go to a cafe and just try to do my like final cut of my summer ween vlog before I have to go, and then I'll probably like pop back home, drop off my stuff, just go straight back out to the cinema because I have to leave here at like 5:50 or something to catch the bus. It's quite a long drive, but you know what, I don't mind. I just don't want to take an Uber or something and pay for that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, also this morning I was actually crying like a baby. They were good tears. I have been watching my first K-drama. My mom has been into K-dramas for like a year or something now, and she always like wants me to watch them with her whenever I'm home, and I'm always like, oh mom, I'm watching other things, because I always have way too long a list of like TV shows to watch. But I decided that since I love K-pop obviously and I love like Korean food, I'd try a K-drama. The one she recommended to me, it's called Business Proposal, and guys, oh, it's so good. It's so good. 12 episodes. I was watching episode 10 this morning and I'm almost done with episode 11. And episode 10 had me sobbing. Like, it's really cute. It's basically about this girl that works at this like food company as a food researcher. Her best friend is like this kind of rich girl. Their friendship is so cute. But yeah, so the rich girl, her dad really wants her to get married, so he keeps sending her on these blind dates, but she doesn't want to go, so she sends Hari, our main character, to go. Her company just got like a new president that moved from overseas that's like part of the family that runs their company, and it turns out the blind date she's going on is like with the president, and she tries really hard to make herself look bad because that's what she does for her friend on these dates. She tries to look crazy so that no one's ever gonna want to date her. But then he approaches her after the date and is like, hey, I want to marry you, basically just to get his grandfather off his back because he also wants his grandson to get married. Obviously, she finds out he's the president. She's kind of like in disguise when she goes, and she gets like roped along into this whole fake dating thing, and it is really good. Oh, it's just so sweet. It's only 12 episodes. They're like hour-long episodes. I love it so much. My mom's watched it and my brother's watched it. I can't wait to like talk about it with them when I get home or on the phone, because I did watch one episode with my mom when we were on our holiday, but she's always sleeping whenever we watch TV together. It's kind of cute. So I'm excited to talk to them about it, but I'm kind of sad that I'm gonna finish it. But I have a whole list of other ones to watch. Anyway, that was kind of a rant. I am gonna go work on my video, hopefully get this all edited before I have to go to the cinema, and then I'm gonna get back, and tonight I do have to do some packing. All right, I'll see you in a bit. It's like 2:20 in the morning. I had a great time at the 17 concert cinema show. Don't really know what to call it. It was basically just like their concert. Unfortunately, they did cut out like half the songs they performed because it was only like an hour and 45 minutes, but the actual concert was 3 hours. That's fair enough because I was really needing to pee and I was hungry by the end. But it was so good. There were 2 shows in my city and I went by myself. I don't have any friends in real life that are like as into K-pop as I am, especially not ones that are into this group in particular. I think I know a couple people that are like casually into K-pop, but there was no one I really wanted to ask because I didn't know if anyone would like really enjoy it the way I did. But yeah, there were 2 shows in my city. The other one was more expensive. It was like £19, and then this one I went to was £13, and that one was like, I think it must have sold out by the end because when I looked a couple days ago it was quite booked up. But my cinema was like pretty empty, but the people there were just so amazing. There's something so special about going someplace where everyone there is a fan of the same thing you're a fan of. It's weird having those experiences with strangers, but you all have something in common. So like I was sat in like the middle of the cinema and everyone else was behind me, so it was just like I didn't see anyone in front of me, but I could see people like out the corners of my eyes. We were all like loud. We were all cheering. There were parts when we were like singing along. People would like cheer whenever like their favorite member was singing, so I could tell who people were fans of. There were lots of people who loved S-Coups and Wonu, but really like all of the members. If you want to know, my favorites are Vernon. I think Vernon's like my favorite because he's cute and I love his voice, so he's my like number one. But I also really love DK, Mingyu. Obviously Mingyu's like the one that goes viral just for being hot, and June. And I'm sad. So basically I'm seeing them in LA in November and I'm so excited. It was so hard to get tickets, but my mom got me tickets as like a birthday present. Thanks, Mom. But 2 of the members won't be there and June is one of them, and I'm really sad. But yeah, I'm so glad I went. I almost didn't go, but I decided to just because I'm like leaving Bristol soon. I was like, oh, what can I do to make my last week a bit more fun? And I'm so glad I did because I haven't ever been to a 17 event, and they are my favorite K-pop group, if not one of my favorite artists overall. I saw one of their live concerts like online, but it's not the same as being there with people that are also fans. It was just cool. And then even though I went by myself, I talked to a couple other people that went to see it in the toilet after, and it was just it was just really cute. And this one girl had like little photo cards and she had crocheted like holders for them and she had them like on her tote bag. It was so cute. Anyway, I had a great time. As you saw, I did read a chapter of The Picture Dorian Gray on the bus. Only a chapter though, like 8 pages because I get car sick. It remains really good. I might read some more of it a bit later tonight. I know it's 2 a.m. I'll explain that in a minute. I did start listening to The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston, I believe, and I like it so far. I'm not very far in. I couldn't tell you what percentage, maybe like 5%. It's hard to say, but nothing supernatural has happened yet. I know it's either like supernatural or magical realism or something. There's something to do with like time travel. I just can't remember the exact synopsis, but as of right now, it's about this girl named Clementine. She lives in New York City. She works at a publishing house and she's like a publicist. They publish fiction, but they also publish like travel guides, and she loves her aunt. She and her aunt were like super close. They've been to 48 countries together. They were like besties. Now her aunt has passed away and she's left her house. And I know that the house is important because I remember the synopsis like kind of vaguely. She has like classic relationship issues, like she's too tied up in her work. She doesn't let people get close, and you know, typical dating issues stuff. I really actually like the writing and stuff so far. She just like went to this restaurant and bumped into this guy on her way out, but like didn't even look at him, and it turns out her friend tells her after that it was the head chef of this Michelin star restaurant and he's really hot. So I figure he must have something to do with the plot. She genuinely didn't even look at his face. So I don't know, but yeah, she's giving workaholic, and then her boss calls her into her office at work and is like, hey, I'm gonna retire, and also, you know how you said that you didn't want to take a vacation this summer? You have to take it because you need to have time off before you take my place. Clementine like basically canceled her vacation time because her aunt is dead and she always goes on vacation with her aunt, so now she has to figure out something to do with her time. But she did grab a little guidebook to New York City on her way out of work, just like to bring to her aunt, and then she remembered her aunt was dead. So I feel like she's just gonna go do like quirky fun things around New York that she's not done yet. That was a lot of information, but I feel like I'm really gonna like it. There's something I really like about the writing style, and I think I'm actually in the mood for a romance, which doesn't happen too often. Anyway, after the 17 concert thing, I went to the McDonald's because it was like just right in this little, I guess you could call it like a strip mall where the theater was. It was awful. I like McDonald's. I don't have an issue with them. I'm not above it. You know what I mean? Like I like McDonald's, but everything was bad except for the milkshake. I got a vegan burger, chips or fries, whatever you want to call them, and a chocolate milkshake. And the chocolate milkshake is the only thing that tasted fine. Which, I mean, it's still not great. Like, it's a McDonald's shake, but it tastes like a McDonald's shake. The fries were stale, perhaps? I don't know. They were bad, and I love McDonald's fries. And the burger, to be fair, I've never had the vegan burger before, but I read A Certain Hunger. It's this book where the main character is a cannibal, but she's also a food critic, and there's this whole long scene where she goes to a cow farm. And I was vegetarian for 2 years. I still don't love eating meat. I usually only eat it when I go out to eat. That book has made me want to go back to being vegetarian, not because of the cannibalism, but simply because of the cow farm and all the meat she eats. I'm like, oh no. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, I just don't really like eating corpses. So yeah, I tried the vegan burger. Awful. I don't know, to be fair, usually when I go to McDonald's, I get the chicken nuggets. Their burgers are like fine, but they're not anything great. But what really pissed me off is like, it was just so bad. And I started feeling like a little bit sick to my stomach after I ate it. The worst part was it was 7 pounds, which feels like a lot. If you're American, that's like $10. At McDonald's, I know that there's like inflation and stuff, but has it really gotten that bad? Anyway, my meal was really bad. Then I got the bus home and I was so tired that I just fell into bed when I got back. I didn't take my sleeping pill though. So I woke up at like 1. I took my sleeping pill and then I was just laying there for like an hour. So I got out of bed at 2, got some water, might make some tea, and I figured I might get a little bit of packing done because I didn't do any today. At the cafe, I did make a little bit of progress with my final edit for the summer ween vlog, but I still have like half an hour of footage left to look through, and I do need to prioritize packing. So I'm gonna do that while I listen to more of the 7-year slip, and then I'm gonna check in with you guys tomorrow. Good night.